So I put together the official pitching velocity checklist, just a list of things that you want to make sure you're doing correctly and kind of avoid some of these other mistakes. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, are you a hook guy? Are you going to hook that spike on the rubber here like this with an angle on your foot? Or are you going to be down in front of that rubber to get a good push off? Now with the hook, it kind of seems like you're setting yourself into a good position and knocking that knee in, but what really happens is we really want to rotate that foot out to push against, and a lot of guys who hook this rubber like this will end up sliding off of the rubber and feeling that spike slip. So I don't really suggest hooking the rubber like this. I think putting the foot down in front of the rubber is your best bet. So if you need to dig a little hole, like this one's already got a hole dug in it, but if you need to dig a little hole to get in front of that rubber, that's going to be your best spot. Number 2 on the checklist is the grip on your fastball. Now, obviously, if we're talking pitching velocity, how you hold the ball is going to be pretty important, right? Everyone knows it's the 4-seam fastball right here. I typically didn't have my fingertips on the laces, though. I would go on the smooth part of the ball and then have my knuckles, the inside of my knuckles on that lace, which gave me a good feel for that. Now, I also threw a sinker as my fastball, and I just put my pointer finger on the inside part of that lace, middle finger right next to it, thumb directly underneath that pointer finger, and I was a little bit tighter here with the grip. So the 2 little differences there. So you got to find the best grip pressure, you got to find the best grip on the baseball, and just find what works best for you, what you feel most comfortable with pitching fast with. Number 3 on the official pitching velocity checklist is going to be to load, right? Loading is super important. We want to load to unload, right? If we get our energy loaded up, we're going to have more potential to unload that energy. So when we get loaded up, we really want to load those hips and load the back leg. We want to look powerful. We want to get loaded up into that backside so we can drive out of it and create a lot of energy. We don't want to just come straight up and down with a leg lift right here, right? We want to load those hips, load that back leg, look powerful so we can drive out of it. That's very, very important in the pitching delivery. Now, pitching mechanics in general are very important for pitching velocity. I'm not going to go into full detail here. Again, this is just your checklist, but pitching mechanics is number 3 on the checklist, load being the most important of it. And if you want a full video of the pitching mechanics and what you can do to really increase your pitching velocity, check out the load to unload video that I made, and also check out my pitching velocity killers, 9 pitching velocity killers. I'll leave a card up here to watch that one and a link down below to watch those other 2. Number 4 on the official pitching velocity checklist is training as an explosive pitcher, right? We want to do bands, we want to do dumbbells, we want to train as an explosive athlete, do medicine balls, plyometrics, we want to get in the gym, get stronger doing squats, deadlifts, things of this nature. And we have to train as an explosive athlete if we want to pitch faster. So that is a huge part of this checklist, and you got to make sure that you're putting in the work off the field, because you're going to see a lot of that give you success here on the pitcher's mound. Number 5 on the official pitching velocity checklist is to have a throwing protocol or a throwing program or something that you're following in regards to your throwing, whether it be long toss. I know some of you guys are on the weighted balls, whether it's you know, a modified long toss, playing catch, flat grounds, whatever it is, you got to have a process or a program or a protocol that you're following and you're building up over time. You want to have the intensity of your throws and the number of your throws increase over time, and then kind of plan that out. But you also have to listen to your arm, because if you're feeling sore, tired, tight, or hurt, you want to back off that day, right? Obviously, if you're feeling hurt, you don't want to throw at all. But if you're feeling sore, tired, or tight, maybe back off a little bit, take off maybe, and then when you're feeling good, you let that thing fly. So have that throwing protocol, but then also listen to your arm and kind of play it by ear as you go, but with the idea to increase your intensity and number of throws over time. Number 6 on the official pitching velocity checklist is to have a recovery routine, okay? Of course, if we're doing all this exercising and this throwing, we want to make sure we are recovering properly and quickly so that we can bounce back and speed up our gains, right? Because if we're recovering quickly, then we can have increases more quickly. And of course, it's going to keep our arm safe and free from injury, and that's what we want. So if we have a good recovery routine, we're putting ourselves in a good spot to have a lot of success. I'm not gonna go too in depth on the recovery routine here, but I made a great video called the 6 R's of recovery. If you haven't seen that one, you're gonna wanna go watch that one now. It's a great one. You can click the card right here that pops up, or I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can go and watch that one. And number 7 on the official pitching velocity checklist, and the last one on this checklist, is to have a high velocity mindset. You gotta have the intent to pitch fast, right? When you get up here, you can't worry about being perfect with your mechanics and throwing the perfect strike. Of course, throwing strikes is great, but we can throw strikes while having the intention to throw very fast, right? Think of it as riding a bicycle with no hands on the wheels. If you go super slow with no hands on the bicycle steering wheel, you're probably gonna fall. Actually, the faster you go without no hands, it's easier to go straighter, right? Same thing with pitching. A lot of guys slow down in their pitching delivery to try to throw strikes. We wanna keep that intent, that high velocity mindset where we're like, all right, I'm letting this sucker fly. The accuracy is gonna be there. The more often we practice throwing at full effort, the better we're gonna be at throwing strikes at full effort. But we always have to have that intention to throw fast if we wanna be a high velocity pitcher and increase our pitching velocity. I hope you guys like this checklist. If you wanna see more checklists, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you would like to see an official checklist on, and I've got a video for you. I've also got another great video for you, a free video for you that I call the Velocity Extractor. And if you're interested in instantly increasing your pitching velocity, you're gonna wanna watch that one. All you gotta do is click the first link down in the description below. It's gonna take you to a page where you enter your first name and your email, and I'm gonna shoot you right over to that video. You can watch it, implement some of that stuff, and be sure to come back here and let me know how much that video has helped you, because I'm hearing a lot of good things from guys getting some instant increases. So go check that out now. Come back, leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.